screen.
Yes, please.
So, good afternoon, or good evening, or good morning, everyone. So we are like from different time zones. So I am Sumit. So I've been working in Power Platform for from since 2016 when it was kind of newly introduced. And in today's session, I will be talking about generating PDF letters and certificate using Power Automate and with the signatures as well. So a little bit about myself. I work at Signatic, which is a product company working on mass vaccination solution using Power Platform as a backend. So we have Dataverse as a backend, and we are using Azure and Service Principles to create a front end which connects with the Dataverse. And this is being used in Seattle for mass vaccination against COVID. This is a company of Leapfrog, which is also Seattle based. So I am also easily available on few of the social media platforms like Twitter, Medium, LinkedIn, and I have my website. You can also visit my YouTube channel, which have Power Apps tutorials. I am based on Kathmandu, though my company is based on Seattle, so I could work remotely from them. Talking about today's session. So today's session, the general overview of today's session will have generating letters and certificate using signatures. So I will talk about different approaches, different ways that we can do this from. The first approach would be using an HTML template. The next one would be using a Word template, and then another is using a model-driven app plus Power Automate, again with HTML template. So I will talk basically about these three approaches on how to generate the letters and certificates using signature. So basically, the idea of this session came with a requirement from one of our client, which is called HopeLink. So HopeLink is a community action agency, a nonprofit based off Seattle, and they provide different services for low-income people in the city of Seattle. And when they give these services, they need to generate a letter with a signature of the patient, and since whatever a signature of their client, and whatever services they give with this letter, they need to have a signature. So our implementation was we have a Power App which act as a kiosk desk where they do the sign, and once they do the signature, it is being generated and placed into a PDF file, which is being printed and then provided to them. So same thing can be used for resale or collecting consent or legal services or acknowledgement or agreement regarding consent. In our one of the implementation in mass vaccination, we need to gather consent of the patients who is getting vaccinated, saying that these vaccinated might have some of the things. So at that point of time, also we use Power Apps to gather consent using the same feature. So I will talk about the first one would be using Canvas app plus Power Automate and HTML template. So okay. I hope you can see my screen.
Sumit, we can see your presentation screen from Canvas Apps Power App, Canvas
Okay,
Power Apps
okay.
plus Power. Yeah.
Give me a second.
Yeah. Do you want to stop sharing and share again? Maybe just a window
Sure,
has been
sure,
shared. Yeah.
sure, sure. Sure. Hmm. Sorry, I have like multiple screens, so I'm getting a little bit confused.
No problem. Please take your time.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So first of all, I'll create a. I guess you can see my screen now, right?
Yes, yes, that's correct. I can see.
Yeah. So I'm creating a Canvas page which will act as a source for sending a signature from Canvas app to the Power Automate, would later generate the signature. So I'm creating a Canvas app. Let's call it signature app. And while this is happening, so I am going to use an HTML template. Okay, this is happening soon, so let's skip it. So I'll insert a pen input, which will act as a place from where you can gather signature. And that is something you can find from insert, go to text, sorry, go to input, and then pen input. So this is a pen input that we can use to collect signature. And so you can define like whether you want to show these controls or not. So you can go to show control properties, keep it false, or maybe you can just keep it as it is, depending on your requirement. So I keep it false and it's not appearing. You can keep it true just so that it's easy to clear up. So I'll keep it true. So I'll put a button. So this button would be used to trigger the Power Automate that will gather the signature from here and will send out to the Power Automate. So I'll call it generate. Oops. So next I'll put a text input and put a label and call it signed by. So this from this input, I will take the data of who it is signed by, and this will give me the signature. And this button will drive me to the Power Automate, which would later create the app. So now on the onSelect property of this button, I need to gather the information that is scribbled here. So let's say I do a signature here. I need to gather what's signed here. So I'll create a variable. Okay. Variable where I am gathering whatever the information that is being collected here. And since I need to collect the base 64 value of the so the image is stored as a base 64 value of the signature. So I need to get the base 64 information, and the way we do it is oops. So this pane input, I am taking the name of this pane input, going to generate and put pane input dot image, and then followed by include binary data. So now let's test what this information is being. So I create just a let's create maybe an HTML text so that there is a scroller there. So just to show you that what information is being collected, I am putting the value of the information that I'm collecting from here into this. So make it var pen. So now when I click generate, you can see that I have a base 64 value of the signature that I have just done. So now I need to send this base 64 value to Power Automate, which would then convert it and make it a signature. So the way I do it is now I go to actions and I go to Power Automate. Okay. So from here, like I have a couple of Power Automates that have been already created. So it's listing down here, but I want to create a new one which would do the job for me. So I click on create a new flow. And then on a new tab, we have some templates. So I need to, I think, re-sign for the flow to be created. So I'll just do the authentication again. Okay, I think I'm authenticated. So I'll create a new flow. We'll go to create and we'll go to automated cloud flow and just name it maybe generate signature from or generate letter uh, HTML template. So this is the name of our Power Automate. Oh, sorry. So the trigger for us is Power Apps. So I just click Power Apps. The name was not created. So generate Power Automate. Sorry, signature from HTML template. So now this is triggered from Power Apps. So the Power Apps is created. So the next step is I create a HTML file. Create file. So now I want to create a file and want to save it in OneDrive. So that's why I am using this action. And when I click on this folder button, it will ask me which folder that I want it to be saved. Let's save it in demo folder that I have created. And then the name can be anything. So let's just call it a demo letter.html. So now demo later the HTML name has placed. Now I need to put the content, what I want it to be placed in the demo letter. So I have created an HTML file, which is over here, which is a sample terms and condition, which you can use. So it's a sample, but in case of your company, maybe you can use a real terms of condition. So I just copy its source and so if you want to try it out, making HTMLs, you can try W3 Schools. And when you open W3 Schools, you have try it yourself thing where you can try what this HTML look like. So if you're not into HTML, you can try it out. You can replace the things that are here and try out how it looks. So I'll just copy it and put it over the content. So, okay. So once this is done, I want to add signed by at the end of it. So I'll put signed by. And since the information about who signed it comes from Power Apps, I will click Ask in Power Apps. So from Power Apps, it is telling me which one to sign and putting a bit of HTML by breaking a line. And so this breaks a line, then so signature image. So, and below this image I want to put my signature. So I will put a HTML tag, which is imgsrc and equals to, again I need to know the image. So from where I know the image, I get it from the Power App. So if I click here, it will give me name. So I'll click see more and I'll ask in Power Apps again. So I'm asking the who signed it, which is this field, and the signature image, which is this field. So both I'm asking in Power Apps. So now save it. Let's try it out how it looks like in HTML. Then we'll convert this HTML to the document file, the PDF file. So let's try it out. So let's go to Power Automate again. Yeah, so our Power Automate that I have just created is now showing up here. Uh, I'll copy this because when I click it, it kind of removes the content I've just created. So I'll just click this generate from HTML and it's being added to our Power App Studio. So in shortly, it will appear in our list of Power Apps, Power Automate that we can use. So let's wait for a while. Hmm. Okay, so I think it has come up. So this is the Power Automate that we are going to use. And I'll just paste whatever I had just got, because as I told you before, it kind of replaces whatever I have written. So I copy this, which is data file of the data of whatever image we have. And then the first input is, since we asked the name first, the value of the text input needs to go first. So the name of the text input control is text input one. So I'll just put text input one dot text, so that it sends text, and then I'm sending the content of the image. So I need to break the line, I think, which is showing the error. So looks good. So let's play it. Click generate, and let's see in Power Automate how it's doing. Okay, it's ready to go. Yeah. So the Power Automate has succeeded. Let's check how's the content look like. So here is our content. I just copy it just to see if it's working well or not. I'll use the try editor of Double Tree School, paste it here and run it to see if it looks good. Yeah, it looks fine, right? So I think the signature is too big. I can work on the HTML a bit and fix the signature. So I can go over here. I can maybe put a bit of width, can be maybe 200 pixel. It kind of gives you a small signature now. So now this is good. It'll show the small signature. And after now, since we have HTML created, we want this to be PDF. And the way we do it is we create a new step, and we want to convert this HTML to PDF. So I'll use convert file path using file using path. And once I click it over the path, I'll put whatever path this file is being stored into. So I'll put the path. Now with this action, we get the content of the PDF in binary format, and I need to save this file into my OneDrive. So the step I'll do is create a file, and then I save it to wherever I want. So I'll just put it into the demo folder. I'll call it my generated letter.pdf, and the file content is whatever content that we get it from here. So I'll just put it here. So next thing is, so we have our letter generated, everything is good. So let's see how it works. So let's click generate. Sorry. Uh, I think it has already generated. So I think there should be a new run, which is 12 seconds ago, the button that I have just clicked. So let's check it out. How is it doing? So it has taken the information from our Power App. It has created the HTML file. Let's take a look. I have changed the width, so it should look small. Yeah, it's looking small. Next step is it is converting my file to PDF. Now it is converting my file and saving it to OneDrive. So let's check in my OneDrive folder about this file. Let's sign in. Mhm. So I'll use my Signetic account to log in, and it should be good. Okay, so I think this was the folder, and there might be other uh, letters that I have worked on in the morning to try it out. So this is my generated letter. Let's check it out. Okay, this is the PDF that I've generated and it's showing the information here. So this is good. The next thing I want to do is I want to send the response from Power Automate to my app and maybe display the letter so that you don't need to go to OneDrive and see it. So this feature is a little bit, so I create a new screen. Uh, I I put a PDF viewer over here, and in this PDF viewer, I need to show whatever data that I get it from here. So I edit this and create a new step and search for response, or just search for Power Apps. I think it will give you that. So respond to a Power App or a flow. So this is what I am going to use. And as an output, I'm going to put the file, and the file will have content of whatever we get it from here. So I'll put file content, yeah, and save it. So I come back to my app. So this is showing lorem ipsum for now, which is a dummy text. I need to show whatever information that is generated. So I go to screen one, keep it as it is. On the generate, I put a set button, a set where I want to store whatever response I get it from here. So I'll create a variable called var view, and this var view is getting whatever response we get it from the HTML template. And once this is done, I want to navigate to screen 2 where this information needs to be shown. So I'll put navigate and I'll put screen 2. So now this file content will not work because this file content has uh, not just the content of the file, but also contains like its file name or file path and everything. But what I need is just the content. So what I do is cut this expression, go over here and sorry, put a file content again. Sorry, we'll come to here. Search for file content, which is this. I want to copy this, and when I put it in expression, it gives me a formula or an expression, dynamics expression that we can use, a Power Automate expression. Sorry. So now I just need body of whatever this variable stores, and then content. So I copy it. So now if I check it, it is giving me the body and the content, not all the information. So this is what we required to get it save here. So var view is collecting all the information. I navigate to new file, and on this new screen, which is here, I'll put var view dot file. So I guess the Power Automate that we are using is not being loaded. So that's why the file that we are sending is not being shown. So what I can do is I can cut this and just add the Power Automate again, just so that it gets refreshes and gets all the updated change that we have, and it knows that it needs to get response. So I'm just putting it again. Yeah, so it's now again I'm pasting whatever I have cut because this code should work. And let's try it out. So I'll click generate. So let's see. Looks like it's not taking. Uh, yeah, so this PDF feature is sometimes a little bit clunky. It kind of works most of the time, but let's try it out again. Let's see if the new file is generated or not. Or let me do this signature. So oops, let's place this aside and clear it and do the signature again. Generate it. Let's see if this works. So okay, okay. So yeah, so we have the PDF now generated, and we can have see the sign here. So sometimes it kind of takes time to load this, which I think will improve over the period of time, but this is now generated. So now the same approach can be used for many ways. So this is one template that have used. I have another template which is of a certificate. So if I want to use it again, I can take the source out of it, copy the content of the source. Though you might have to do a little bit of HTML here. I'll paste it here, and then I need to change. So I need to change the name of the student. So whatever content that is coming from the Power Automate is this gives me the name of the student. Then I can again put image of the signature, same like what I have done, equals to file content 1, and then use it to generate. So first one I generated letter. In this one, say the certificate would be generated. So let's try it out here. Let's come back in the first screen. Let's clear this up, put another signature, and generate it. So again, this kind of takes time to load, but I think it's generated. But we have to specify the size of the images so that it kind of aligns with the overall text, which we can do just by putting maybe width for this signature, which can be 200 pixel, and just save it and do it again. So okay, yeah. So since I didn't put my name, the text input came in, but you have my signature. So this is one of the approach, but there might be people who are not HTML friendly. In that case, we can use a template doc file. So I have a template doc file, and this can also be used to generate the letter. And the way it works is you need to have the developer tab on, and to get these fields in. So this is an input field, and this is an image input field. And the way you do it is go to file, go to options, go to customize ribbons, and you need to check in this option. Uh, is there any question? Or okay, anyways. So this is the developer option that needs to have in, and from here you can insert a text input or an image input, which comes up here. And then I have uploaded this file to my OneDrive, which is, I think, over here. So this is a template file that I am going to use, and inside this file inside this file I have two areas where I can fill in information, which is over here and down here. So I am going to fill this information from Power Apps using the same method. So for this I'll just create a new flow, which I can do directly from here. So let's skip it, generate from Word template, and then Since Power App is where we get our information, this is Power App. Next step would be next step is to create a file. So we get signature from here, but when we are using Word, we cannot get directly the base 64 data into Word. So what we do is we store the signature file as an image into our into the OneDrive. So we click create a file, specify the place where we stored the image, which is demo folder. And now I need to store the image, so let's call it signature.jpeg. So I get the content from Power Apps, so Arcs in Power Apps, but this Arcs does not work because it needs to be converted to the binary format, and the format that we get from here is base 64. So what I do is I just copy this, and when I paste it in expression, I get the expression of whatever auto generated here. And so I will just copy the trigger part, cut the trigger part, and then use base 64 to binary. So once this is done, we'll click OK. So now this converts my base 64 to binary and save it as signature.jpg. Uh, Another part is now we want to once this file is created, we want to get the content of this file and place it into our Word folder. So new step would be get file content. So I need to get content of this file, and I can get it from its ID. So I'm getting the content of this file. Now I want to populate my Word file. So my Word template, I want to populate with the content I get it from Power Apps and the content that is saved in into my OneDrive. So I click on populate a Microsoft template. I click on location. It's OneDrive, so it should show up in the drop down. Yeah, OneDrive for Business. Document library would be again OneDrive, and the file is so the file is within demo folder. I have a certificate of completion template, which I'm going to use. And now it will ask me. So this is the image file that we are going to use, and this is the area where our name is placed. So over here, I put the file content I get from creating the file. So just put it here. And over here, I'll put the name or whatever content I fill in here should get in here. So I'll ask that from the Power Apps. So I'll come down here and will ask in Power Apps. So this is it. Next step is again creating this file and saving it to my to OneDrive. So I do create file, and then I need to define which folder is this file in. So uh, go to root demo folder and let's call it test.doc. And the content of this file comes from here. So Microsoft Word document. So we have now a Word document generated. So let's just save it. Uh, just so that we don't have to remove and add the Power Automate again and again, I'll just put the response again, though I'll keep it blank. So we will add few steps in the middle to convert it uh, to PDF, but I'll just put a file response so that I don't have to like remove and add and to check if Power Automate get refreshes. So I'll just put any dummy values over here. So we'll save this. And now we come back here. I'll create another button, another button which does this conversion from me with Word. So let's call it Word generate. So this will generate using the Word. I need a new Power Automate that I just created here. It should appear here somewhere. Okay, it's here. So I'm clicking it so that it comes to my Power of Studio and get associated with the button. So let's wait for a while this is happening. Okay, all good. Now this is good. So I need to generate the flow. So I'll just copy whatever I have here, paste it just over here, and copy this name of the Power Automate that needs to run and paste it here and remove just this one. And one thing that's different is over here I asked from Power Apps in the reverse order. So in the first place I asked for file content, and in the second place I asked for the name. So this needs to be switched because I asked in a different order. So I'm switching this for pin comma separated by text. Now again, this, if I try it, it will not work. The reason for it is you see this value that we get generated from this pen input. This has some information regarding the format like data, img. It's a png file of a base64. So we don't need this information when we are sending it. When we are sending it to an html, it makes sense because we are putting it in an image tab. But now that we are converting this image directly to base64, we just need the base64 information, which starts from here and ends to the up to till the end. And what we do now is we skip the first 24. This is up to like 24 characters. So we skip these 24 characters and start from I. And the way we do it is that we can use different approach to do that. We can just use a string replace to replace these characters, or we can use something called uh, min 24 separated by, or okay, sorry, um, copy this, or we can use a separate variable as well to do this. So we are getting the total length uh, minus 24 again. I think it should be here. Minus 20. Now that we are starting from 24, it's less than 24. So looks good. Yeah, okay. Um, min, okay. I need to add another column. Min JSON length, sorry, length so let's do one thing. Let's create another. Let's put this in another variable just so that it's easier to see. So a new one. Okay, I think this is more easier to decode and have a clear look. So let's for a while this is being processed. I think this should be good. Okay, let's wait for a bit. I think it's okay. Um, Submergation, alien. Okay, I missed one here as well. So let's just try it out. Might never know it will. So I'll just remove this just to see what's going on. I'll copy this far pin. I'll put it over here. Let's just create a new variable just so that I can figure it out. Okay, so let's put a text pin in. Oh, sorry. So let's see if it has cropped up. Oh no. Uh, oh, sorry. It should have been mid. Okay, so good. So this has generated the base64 information. Instead of mid, I was putting min there, which was causing the issue. And then I send it to Power Apps, Power Automate. So we have generate from Word template, run. Need to send the base64 information first, which is text.pin, and then I need to send the information regarding the person, which is text input 1, and followed by text. So all good. So let's click it here and let's see how this flow is doing. So I think it should create a doc file, right? So yeah. So I think this just ran successfully. Let's check the last one, which happened 16 seconds ago. So I guess this ran successfully. Let's check my demo folder. And I think it has a test.doc, which contains the information. Yeah. So I think it's the same signature. Yeah. So this is the document that was generated using a doc. Now I can convert this doc using the same method. So I can just come back here. Sorry, come back over here, edit it, and use the same method that we have applied for generating PDF. So I can add a layer here. So this file is generated. So I can convert this. Convert file using path. The file would be whatever path this is using. So I'll search for path. File for path 2 is what we need. Sorry, we have the information needed to convert it to PDF. I'll add a new one, which will now save it as PDF, which is create file. And then I define the path, which is again in the demo folder. And then over the file name I can give my word to pdf, and the content of this file is whatever we get from here. So we'll put it sorry, save it, and then run this. And let's see how this flow is doing now. uh, in the run history, I have another is triggering right now, which is running. So okay, I think it is generated. Yeah, so this is the PDF file that is being generated. Yeah. So now this is uh, two of the methods that we can use. The third one that we have also used while implementing the solution for one of our client is using Moldivan app. So I created a Moldivan app, which is over here, and let this app open. Uh, so while this is opening, we can create a new flow from just here, and it is again an automated flow, and I can skip it. Generate PDF from records. So this is generated on the basis of on when a record is select trigger. So I'll search for record selected. I think there is just one selected here, so it should. So okay, this is the trigger. When a record is selected, I'll get information from that record and generate PDF based on it. So it's on my default environment, so I'm going to select default. The name, the entity that I'm going to use is contact. So, oops, so contacts is what we are going to use. Let's just, okay, we need an action at least. So when a record is generated, we fetch the information from this contact and put it in one of our PDF. And what we do here is, let me play this. And while this is playing, I will open this, open my form just to show what I have done here. Okay. So this is opening, and I think this is also opening. I'll switch to classic because it only works in classic mode. So I have put pen input control in the Moldivan app. So I create a new contact. I hope this is switching. Let me click here. Yeah. So in the button below, I have created a field called signature, which is a pen input signature, and this is something you can also use internally. So if you have some internal HR or internal employees who are using Moldivan app, they can use this part to do the signature rather than going to Power Apps and coming back to again. They can just use this, and they can also use this to generate records. So let me name someone. So uh, I don't know. So this is a contact which is going to use this signature to generate the same certificate that we have generated. So I've saved this contact. So once this is saved, let it save. And the way you can put this contact, the pen input in is using a control call pen input, which I wanted to show, but it's not loading. So let it load. If I have time, I will show you how can we put that. But even if you want to do it, you can figure out easily. So when a record is selected, I want to get information. I want to create a HTML. Sorry, create file. So I'm creating a file, same method that I've used in the first approach, and saving this file to my demo folder. Call this file HTML generated from model driven dot PDF. Sorry, HTML. And I'm going to use the same content I have done for the certificate. So I'm just pasting it here. And in the name of the student, I can use the full name of contact. So where is it? Over here, I can use the full name of contact. I can search for full name. And then down below, I can use an image property, use source, and put the value we get from signature. So this signature is a multi-line text file, text input, which is storing the information as a base 64 in base 64 format. So I just save it. And how I'm going to trigger it is I can select this, and in the list of here, from here, I can see the flow that I have just created, because the trigger of this flow is when a record is selected. So this Power Automate will show up over here, I think. um, See your flows. Generate the name of my flow is generate PDF from records, right? I think it should be here, generate. Oh, okay, so this is the flow. I didn't saw it before. So this is the PDF, the flow that we have created. So I'll just click this, and when I click this, it'll give me some connectors to give access. So it's loading the connectors that I'm using. It's getting authenticated. I click control, continue, and run. So done. So now this contact has been selected. The flow is run. I come to here, check what's going on. Okay, this flow also got generated. So probably my HTML should be here. So my HTML is here with the signature, and now I can follow the same method to convert it to PDF. Same method that I have done in previous two approaches, which should be like convert file using path, define the path here, and then create a file. Okay, it's PDF, right? Okay, create file, uh, define the path where it's need to be stored. It's the demo folder. Name of the file is my model driven generated PDF dot PDF, I guess, and then put the file content in, save it. I can use while testing, I can use the previous triggers. So I'm just using the trigger that I have recently done and tested. And well, this is, I think this should be quick. Mm, mm. Should have been quick. Don't know why it's taking forever, but let's try it with a new one. I think I can do it for this one. Run the flow, generate PDF. While it's happening, let's see if it's done. Wow. Let's see if it happens quickly if we do it just from here. So there should be another one. Okay, so this one happened quickly. Don't know why this. Okay, this one also happened quickly. So sometimes these flows get screwed up and kind of takes time. So I think it should be here. And this is the new one. Let's check it out. So yeah, so uh, I think it's still showing. Let's refresh it. Uh, is it the same signature that I have done? Okay, it's the same signature I have done. So for the James Watson with this signature, it's generated. And just to, since we have very little time, I think 3 minutes, I want to quickly show how I put the signature here. This is the signature field that I have put. It's a multi-line text. It needs to have around like 15,000 of uh, characters as limitations. Usually it's around 1,000 to 2,000, but since it needs to store images as base 64, it at least needs uh, uh, around like 15,000 minimum text. Still taking too time to load. Maybe I can show it from here. Anyways, so we can take up some questions if there are any while this is
Yes,
happening. Yeah,
there's a question.
yeah.
Okay. Uh, Pranam asks if we can apply PDF security for edit or view to the PDFs generated on the fly.
Uh, PDF security as in?
Probably it's like if you can only specific users can edit it, or if you could password protect a PDF. I hope that's the question.
Uh, I have not tried it yet. Maybe so I cannot answer it. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, probably we can because you are using base 64, so probably there might be ways to do it, but I need to figure it out. So
Also, okay. And also there's the Adobe connector that has come out now, so I'm sure you can do it with that.
yeah,
The
yeah,
password protection on PDF documents.
yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Sumit. That was an insightful session. I don't see any more questions here, but feel free to post your social media links on the chat so that people can reach you out. Also, now there's one more question. How can we securely store the signature images? Is there any encryption that we can use?
Uh, Again, I might need to figure that out. Uh, Probably since when we are not using Word, we are not storing it, so it should be fine over there. And since you are using OneDrive, is using your connector, so it's getting stored in your particular folder. So if you maintain the access of that folder, in that way, the security can be maintained. But maybe regarding the encryption and everything, I need to like figure that out as well.
Yes, because there are other options also. You could also digitally sign or put something
Mhm.
using the
Yeah.
different
Yeah, you
connectors
can use
available.
Adobe Sign as well
Yeah.
if you want a more secure approach of doing it.
Mhm.
If you just want to collect the electronic signature, this approach should be fine. But for more complex approaches, I think that you should use verified Adobe Sign or DocuSign to do
Yes.
this. Yeah.
All right, cool. Again, thank you so much, Sumit. Please post your social media links on the chat so everybody can reach you out. And without further ado, first, what I'll do is I'll stop the recording so we can start it again.